Perched above the abyss is a bird that shouldn't exist. She is not alone. In this ancient colony, survival is a shared burden. But the heat isn't the only danger. A hungry nose has found the scent of life. Two brothers
in the heat have forged a new strength.
But in the Amazon, even a bad smell can attract the curious.
This is the secret of the stink bird. In the canopy, there is no rest for the weary. In the flooded forests of the Amazon, the water doesn't just give life, it hides death. Here, the air is thick enough to swallow. And perched above the abyss is a bird that shouldn't exist. Built where the trees meet the tides, it is a nursery on the edge of a cliff. A face that has seen the rise and fall of empires. The predators of the forest, she smells not of prey, but of decay. Vigil begins. 90 days of survival starts now.
The Amazonian sun is a silent predator. For the next 30 days, she will endure the fire to protect the future.
But the heat isn't the only danger. A hungry nose has found the scent of life.
She cannot fly well, so she fights with shadow and sound. A prehistoric warning to stay away.
Stench of her fermented meal is her greatest shield. Even the hungriest hunter has its limits.
She is not alone. In this ancient colony, survival is a shared burden. Days of stillness. But inside, a monster is taking shape. Below the nest, the shadows have eyes. The night is a gauntlet of patient hunger.
The wait is almost over. The claws are coming.
3 days of silence break with a single, prehistoric tap. Here's the world with a tool lost to time. A ghost of the dinosaur age, written in bone and claw.
These hooks are not for flight. They are for the climb of a lifetime.
Slip, and the forest floor, or the river's jaws, will claim him.
Two brothers. Two shadows from a forgotten world.
She knows the danger. Their survival now depends on their ability to move.
Sound of birth is a dinner bell for the river. Day one is won. But in the Amazon, tomorrow is never promised. In the jungle, hunger is the first instinct. But for the Hoatzin, the menu is far from ordinary.
They are fed a pre-digested soup of fermented leaves, a recipe passed down through millions of years.
This is the secret of the stink bird, a living bioreactor that turns toxic plants into life. The meal is heavy. Every calorie is a brick in the wall of their survival.
But in the Amazon, even a bad smell can attract the curious.
She remains the silent sentinel, waiting for the fuel of the forest to do its work.
Prehistoric tools are sharpening.
The first trial of the flesh is over. Now comes the trial of the water.
Days in the heat have forged a new strength. The nest is no longer enough.
They are born with a map of fear. To move is to be seen. To be seen is to die.
These hooks are more than tools. They are their only anchor in a world that wants to pull them down.
She plays a dangerous game of misdirection, offering herself to save the nest.
Predator is patient. He knows that sooner or later, the height will fail them.
Safe for another sunset. But the shadow below never sleeps.
The river
is waiting for the great plunge. On the 14th day, the canopy offers no sanctuary. A shadow from the trees has come to claim the nest.
Creature that cannot yet fly, there is only one escape, the abyss.
From the sky to the flood, in a heartbeat. Born in the trees, but the water is in their blood. Every ripple is a signal to a dragon. Hunter is left with an empty nest. But for the chicks, the trial has only shifted. 2 survivors in the dark. Now, they must climb back to the sky. River is behind them, but the sky is a mountain away.
This is the legacy of the Archaeopteryx, a grip that has not failed in 6 million years. The scent of effort draws the scavengers. They wait for a single slip.
They climb together, or they don't climb at all.
Her voice is the only bridge back to safety. Summit. A victory measured in inches.
The river tried to claim them. The dinosaur claws wouldn't let go.
But the journey of 90 days has only just begun.
Survival is not a solo mission. In this ancient colony, last year's children are this year's guardians.
These helpers defer their own lives to ensure the bloodline endures.
They transform from birds into a single, terrifying wall of hiss and shadow.
A blunt weapon, but an effective one.
Even the smartest hunter knows when the price of a meal is too high.
Forgiven by the forest for another day.
Alone, they are relics. Together, they are a fortress.
35 days. The soup of the nest is no longer enough. Now, they must learn to eat the forest itself.
Leaves are a fortress of cellulose and toxins. Most birds would die. For the Hoatzin, it is the only
Crop is a living cauldron. A specialized stomach that works like a cow's, fermenting death into life.
They are prisoners of their own chemistry. To eat is to be paralyzed by the weight of the forest.
A storm, their weight becomes a liability. The balance between hunger and safety is razor thin.
Ancient claws remain their silent insurance policy.
The trial of the gut is won. They have survived the poison, the weight, and the wind.
Becoming part of the forest's rhythm. But the ultimate predator is watching from above.
65 days. The juveniles are now large enough to be a meal for the king of the canopy.
Survival strategy has a cost. To digest is to be slow, and to be slow is to be a target.
Death from above arrives without a sound.
Colony's eyes are everywhere. The only defense is to become the tree itself.
A game of inches. Shadow passes. Wait. The king has nothing but time. Their ancient tools find one last use. A refuge in the thorn. Today, the shadow moves on. Tomorrow, they must learn to fly.
80 days. The time for crawling is over. The heavy weight of the forest must now be
Not masters of grace. For a Hoatzin, flying is just a series of controlled falls.
The heavy bellies make every flight a gamble.
They are the only birds that weigh more than their own ambition. In the canopy, there is no rest for the weary.
finds a way.
10 days remain.
The circle is almost complete.
Days. The claws of the past have vanished. The survivor of the prehistoric world has come of age.
It has mastered the poison of the forest. What was once a struggle is now a strength.
The wings of the relic are no longer for escape. They are for the future.
Joins the ranks of the guardians. The helper becomes the protector.
It is a creature of contradictions, clumsy yet invincible, foul-smelling yet sacred to the swamp.
In a world that moved on, they chose to stay. A living memory of a time before man. The dinosaur still lives.